Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
How's it going, everybody? We're in another episode of the Sales Agency Review, and today I'm with Terry Wilson from Chat Metrics. Terry, how's it going today?
Great, Eddie. Thanks. Great to be here.
Awesome. Great to have you in the show. Today, we're going to be talking about something very interesting for the companies that have some website traffic that they want to convert. So we're going to be talking about Chat Metrics, turning anonymous website visitors into qualified pipeline through a fully staffed live chat service. Terry, tell us a little bit about what this entails. What is the service that we're talking about?
Well, it's really a live chat service that delivers qualified pipeline. That's what it comes down to. We engage with your website visitors via a live chat widget on the website. Anonymous conversations is the way to do it. We don't ask for any contact details up front. Go through, build rapport, gain credibility through answering their questions. And then we qualify through that conversation as well to make sure that we're only booking meetings with people that are really in your ICP, and book them straight into meetings with your account managers or the relevant salesperson. No need to fill in forms or follow up from SDRs.
Incredible. Now, something that a lot of people may be wondering is this an AI only type of solution, or are there going to be some humans involved into the mix? What would you say to that?
There's only humans involved in the mix. There's no AI, certainly not in the engagement. We leverage AI all through the business, but for the actual engagement and conversations that take place, it's all human to human.
Perfect. Now, let's rewind a little bit and talk about when it comes to converting customers, website visitors, into customers. How do you start those conversations? How have your customers previously started those conversations? What type of platforms or tools were they using before? If you can walk us through that a little bit.
Sure. The usual conversion process for most websites is a combination of either things like contact us forms or book a demo forms. More recently, there's better utilization of chatbots and so forth. That's probably the main ones that are used. Contact us. Obviously, they'll flag their phone number on the website as well, so that people can make a call. But it depends what time of the day, whether or not the business is available or not for a call. But they're the main ways that they convert at this stage. In the past.
Fantastic. Now, what are the issues with having them, let's say, their own solutions, their own CRM connected web chat application, and their own team versus having Chat Metrics taking care of the website visitors?
Well, I guess if we walk through each one of the experiences that the website visitor gets from each of those conversion processes. So a form fill, depending on what time of the day it is that form's being filled in, that generally gets sent to a salesperson, a junior salesperson within the business. That salesperson then needs to go through the process of reaching back out to whoever filled the form in, whether that's going to be via email or via telephone. But there's steps in all of that. The website visitor, meantime, and it'll be hours. Generally, it's hours after the form was filled. So generally, the website visitor, your prospect, is moved on to something else. They're doing something else, or potentially even talking to competitors. So there's a real time lag in that response. And it's also effort for the SDRs. The SDR's whole and sole purpose isn't just responding to inbound inquiries. And so every time they're switching between tasks, there's that time lag in terms of them being able to get focused on the next task as well. Where it's a chatbot, I'm yet to find what I would call an excellent chatbot experience. The biggest problem with chatbots is that, and we've researched 5,006 websites recently. I'll be publishing that information shortly.
Nice.
Most chatbots are set up according to best practice by the vendors to ask for an email address up front, but it's literally the worst thing you can do. We've recently had a client that was asking for an email address on the front, and we were sitting in their software for the time being until their contract expired. And they were asking for an email address after people had clicked on, I want to talk to sales. We asked them to have a look at what the dropout rate was at that point in time when the chatbot asked for their email address, and it was 96%. So 96% of people that said, I want to talk to a salesperson, dropped out when the chatbot asked for an email address. Excuse me. And the reality of that was when they switched that component out of the chatbot, left the chatbot to qualify because the other side of that was to divert people to support. But
Right.
people that clicked on sales, so we ended up immediately increasing the amount of leads we were generating for them by 21 times because we were able to chat to 96% more people than what we had been. So it was a huge lift, and it was a really big insight. It's not as dramatic across all industries and all demographics. There are variations, and we've seen lesser variations as well. But there's generally no less than a 50% drop off when you're asking for an email address up front. It's a bit like asking your date for a kiss before you've even bought her a drink.
That's amazing, and a 20x definitely it's a huge improvement. So it sounds like this is meant for companies that have already a chat solution in place, know that they have some traffic, are aware that they need to convert that traffic, but may not just be doing a very good job at it, measured by, for instance, the average response time. If it's not something within seconds or someone that's already dedicated to this type of job, having that play of trying to get them later, it's going to be something that not only reduces the conversion rate, but also having that, and it makes sense. A lot of companies and us even, we've tried that route of trying to collect first the lead so that we can follow up later in case we miss it. But the whole point is, don't miss the conversation. Just be there. Try to have that first conversation, serve them, see and qualify them to see if they're a good fit, and then get their information passed on to the experts to try to convert that opportunity. That makes a lot of sense. Now,
The only thing I
would
would
you like?
say, Eddie, is that it's not specifically for companies that have website chat now.
Mhm.
The reality is that if they've got a chatbot, sure, it will definitely improve.
Okay.
But the reality is, as long as they've got product market fit, in other words, they are generating leads from their website, and then that's where Staff Live Chat really comes into its own. Before you've got product market fit, or you've got very limited website traffic that aren't really your ideal client profile visiting your website, then there's probably not that much of a benefit other than to gain some insights from the conversations, and you can
Right.
gain insights like features they might be asking about in the chat, or particular product ranges that they might be asking for in the chat. So you can get some insights for marketing. But the two big keys are product market fit and getting some leads from the website. As soon as you put chat on, you can guarantee that it will at least double the amount of pipeline. So not just the marketing qualified leads, but actual pipeline you're generating from your website, then it will at least double it and more in most
Excellent.
cases.
Now, I would like to double click a little bit there, Terry. Would you recommend any range, at least a minimum range of website visitors to get started, or any specific industries or verticals that you want to mention where you have some great success for people in the audience?
Look, it's one of those things that is, long as the dynamics of you having qualified traffic on a website, or real prospects coming to a website, and you are generating
Hmm.
some leads from a website, then that really is the ideal place. In terms of verticals that we've had a lot of success in, it works very well in the technology sector, B2B SaaS companies. We're very strong in the education sector. And we're also strong across finance and industrial, believe it or not. So everything from sheds, water tanks, roofing supplies, and flooring and walling supplies as well. But the big one, and where I see probably the biggest benefit, where the biggest expenditure in advertising and marketing seems to be, is in
Hmm.
that SaaS. The B2B technology companies spend an enormous amount of money on marketing, both from SEO and digital campaigns, PPC campaigns. They're the ones
Right.
that seem to get the biggest uplift when you get live chat on a website that's done properly. You can do it yourself properly. You really need to have somebody in there 24/7. Needs to be proactive and popping up so that it's engaging with the website visitor as soon as they get there, and make sure that you're responding to their questions, ideally in under 60 seconds. Our target and our service level agreement that we're achieving internally is 30-second response times. You meet those factors, and it'll be worthwhile doing for you. But if you don't have product market fit, and you don't have, you know it's not so much about the number of website visitors.
Hmm.
We've got customers with 800 visitors that we're delivering 30, 40 leads a month for. We've got other websites that have got 300,000 visitors that we're delivering 10 or 20 leads a month for. It depends on the amount of prospects that you're actually driving to your website, not the overall SEO strategy and campaign.
That makes sense. It's pretty much like having a concierge at a store, a clerk at a store, instead of having it empty and trying to follow up with the people that visit it, trying to have someone that within the first 30 seconds, it's going to ask them, hey, how's it going? Anything I can help you with, right?
You've got it. You've got it.
All right, fantastic. Now, are there any key other features about the service that you would like to highlight that have made it very important for the verticals that you mentioned to use chat metrics and see these upsides and conversions?
And I think there's two sides to this. One is the implementation or onboarding process. It's very light effort or lightweight from our client's perspective. We do all of the work beforehand, so we're preparing all of the FAQs and scripting. We've been doing it for a decade, so we've got a bit of an idea on what works and what doesn't. And so we go through and prepare all of the FAQs and scripting and prepare that, send that to the client to review. The things that we need to know then are, what are your qualification criteria? What's your ICP? And we need the calendar links to book the meetings to. And that's pretty well it from an onboarding perspective. You put a snippet of code into your website, and generally from sign up to go live, it'll be somewhere between 7 to 10 days. On the flip side, there's the integration, and that is that every lead that we generate is fully integrated with your CRM, and we integrate with your existing processes. So there's no change management on your side. All that happens is you see an increase in meetings booked and pipelined. Yes, we have a dashboard and you can gain insights from all of the non-converting conversations, but from a pure business process perspective, we're not an interruption. Lightweight onboarding and then integrate with your processes, so there's no interruption or change management, which is an obstacle for most implementations.
That's something that I can definitely attest to. We CloudDesk have personally tried chat metrics. I've seen the onboarding. I got added to a Slack channel, started talking to your team, started defining or clarifying what was a qualified lead, started seeing some samples of opportunities converted into my calendar, gave your team some feedback, continue to refine that. And over time, it just produces. I just see my calendar booked with opportunities. So I can say that that's been a pretty interesting journey and onboarding process, as you said. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so from a customer support perspective, we are a 24/7 staff live chat service. So it's imperative that we offer that same service to our clients. So from customer service or customer support, 24/7 available in our live chat on our website, 24/7 available in the Slack channel that we'll set up, 24/7 available via email campaigns. And if there's any requirements in terms of catching up for a meeting, we meet as often as the client wants to. We have some clients that we catch up with as often as monthly, generally not earlier than monthly, quarterly, 6 monthly and annually, depending on their requirements. But once we're up and running, there's a lot of interaction backwards and forwards with the leads going through and us touching base to make sure that everything's running along smoothly.
Awesome. That's great to know. So people in the audience typically like to know more about these channels that are enabled. So again, there's the chat for instant communication at any time. But should you need to jump on a call to review strategy, to align on something a little bit deeper than the pre-established meetings, you can have that opportunity there. We have spoken a little bit about how easy it is to get set up and how your team has the expertise to drive your companies or people in the audience through that onboarding process. How long would you say it takes to be set up and running, plugging into the CRM, let's say Salesforce, HubSpot, and plugging into the website and deploying all the qualification criteria, etc.?
So for us to be up and running properly, we can be up and running in as little as 72 hours. The only delay we see is really how long it takes you to review the client brief and get through those FAQs and give us the qualification criteria, give us your calendar links. There usually is the longest delay in our onboarding process, but from sign up to go live is generally 7 to 10 working days. And we've had urgent requirements that we can literally do it in 24 hours if need be, and we've had that a couple of times where clients have come to us or people have come to us and said, look, we're not working with you now. We need a staff live chat service. We're just about to embark on some pretty big campaigns, some major expenditure, major investment, and we want to make sure the service is up and running. And when I ask the question of how long before the campaign's live, they're live in 24 hours. So it's like we just do a 24-hour sprint then, and run through until we're ready to go and be up and running live for when the campaigns start. And it makes a big difference on the level of conversions they get from their campaigns. And obviously the end result pipeline, but on the flip side, the other two benefits are a greatly reduced client acquisition cost and a greatly improved return on ad spend. That ROAS just climbs when you're able to increase the number of conversions you're getting from those campaigns.
Awesome. Now, so people in the audience, I know that something interesting about your solution is also the pricing model. Can you touch a little bit on that, please?
Sure. We believe in delivering value. And forcing ourselves to be focused on value. So there's no locking contracts. We run month to month. We do ask for 30 days notice from the end of the month that we're working in because it's a human play here. We've got wages and timetables to shift around for termination. However, the pricing itself is purely on a per lead basis. So per fully qualified and qualified to your requirements, fully qualified meetings booked in your sales team's calendar. That's what we charge for. Charged at the end of each month.
That's beautiful. So there you have it. Pay per meeting, pay per lead from your website, everything managed. So it comes with the software, with the humans. They take care of the onboarding. They run you through the process. And at the end, provide you just those qualified appointments that you're looking for in a very easy way to get set up. Awesome. What would you say? I know we just mentioned the outcomes, or could there be any other success metrics that people in the audience could use to measure the efficiency of chat metrics?
There is. So there's a couple. If you look at the efficiency or productivity of your SDRs, traditionally through conversion processes, the SDRs will be the ones that receive the inbound inquiries. We are able to operate effectively as your online SDRs, and so we'll do all of that qualification process in the chat conversation. So we sidestep. So you'll see a reduced effort required from your SDRs. And look, obviously there's a potential saving there or reallocation, because you'll find that with the increased lead gen, if your website is your primary generator of pipeline, that you'll need increase, unless you've got a lot of capacity in your sales team, you're going to need more salespeople once you start pushing those leads through via the live chat. So you can reallocate and train up your SDRs into that. On the flip side, reviewing the chat transcripts that don't convert into an outcome. You can often see there where there will be conversations and questions. Website visitors will be asking questions about either features or particular products in your offering. We've got several customers that review all of those transcripts and have for the last 6 years used those transcripts and the questions from their customers, like the voice of customer. And they're using that information to drive their product roadmap for the last 6 years. The other benefit that you'll see as a fringe that we do, and it's fully included in our service, is the customer service side of things. So whilst we charge per lead, we're still interacting with your website visitors. We're making sure that whoever comes gets the type of experience that you would, well, in fact, that I would want from any website when I visited, and that's 110%
Right.
gold glove experience. And so when somebody comes to the website, whether they're an existing customer looking for some low-level tech support, I can't find my login, how do I reset passwords, etc., we can handle all of that sort of stuff. Anything more complicated, we can pass on to the tech support team. We can raise a ticket or send them to an email, or send them an email to an email address to respond to. The other side is that with those service inquiries, we'll also send a notification through from our own dashboard that there's been a service requirement. So it might be somebody that wants to change an appointment, an existing lead that wants to change an appointment or something. They'll come back into the chat. So we manage all of that as a fringe benefit to the lead generation focus that we have.
It sounds incredible, Terry. I hope that the feeling that the people looking at this video is shared by me when I say it sounds like a comprehensive service that provides experts at converting traffic into opportunities using chat and you can now focus the rest of your sales team in having more meaningful conversations, knowing that those are qualified leads. They're going to look for these leads. They're going to prefer to have these leads, but they probably just didn't have the time to attend to them appropriately. You mentioned a very huge benefit, which is they're going to now get also customer service included in, but you are really paying per performance. You're paying per lead. You're paying per conversion per meeting. Awesome. Terry, any last words you want to say to the people in the audience before we part ways today?
Look, only that I get a lot of feedback from people saying live chat doesn't work. And one of the main reasons for that is that they haven't done it right in the past, or they've had bad experiences themselves. Often, someone will tell me that, they don't like live chat. They would never engage with it. Well, the reality is we've delivered $5 billion in pipeline, just over $5 billion in pipeline now in the last decade for our clients. And that's through over 300,000 pipeline opportunities or fully qualified sales opportunities, fully qualified deals. And each of them qualified to each of the client's own requirements. So live chat works. It doesn't work everywhere. We know very quickly if it's not going to work. But what I would say is that if you're generating leads for a sales team through your website, get live chat. Do it yourself. If you're not sure, there's plenty of software that's available. Get some people in there and start to have some conversations and see what level of engagement you get. If anyone wants any tips on setting that up themselves in terms of making sure they are going to get the maximum level of engagement, so at least they know what the potential outcomes could be if they're running it 24/7, I'm more than happy to help. DM me and I'll happy to send over the best way to set up live chat to get it working for you.
Awesome, Terry. A lot of times when I hear that someone in sales says, "Hey, that channel's pretty much dead," it's probably because they're not doing it right. So yeah, give it a chance. Chat, conversion of web chat into opportunities may be right for you. You don't know if you don't try. Definitely, if you want to have a conversation with Terry and the team at Chat Metrics, you can look for them in the CloudTools marketplace and their different listings. Terry, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and I hope to catch you in a future episode.
Thanks, Eddie. We'll see you again.
Awesome. Bye bye.
Bye.